Hi everyone, in today's video we will study how OR condition, that means OR operator, works in Arduino. So you know what OR is, I will try to, okay fine. So you know OR means OR because in the last video we studied about AND, so now it is OR, right? So OR means if input 1, you remember the OR gate, right? Input 2, and let's say this is output. So OR means either this or that. Okay, if one input is true, the final should be true. So if input 1 is true, if you don't know, you have to look at the OR truth table. So that is what I am drawing here. And input 2 is false, input 1 true, input 2 false, output will be true. That means if only one is true, output is true. Okay, in AND both has to be true, right? And this and that has to be true. So you can go and watch my AND videos. So again, if input 1 is false and input 2 is true, output is true. Okay, so if both are true, then obviously output is true, because one true is enough. If both are true, then obviously it is true. And only when both are false, the output will be false. Okay, so this is the AND gate logic. Okay, so you can Google and OR gate logic. That means you can Google OR truth table and you will understand. Okay, so we will think this as an if condition, and input 1 is the first if condition, whatever the condition we are going to check into if, and we are going to have an OR operator, and we are also going to have input 2. Then output is something, the command that runs, that implemented. Also you can say the output is something when this if condition that get in, when the program get into the if condition, then that means output is true. If it gets out of the if condition, that means the output is false. Okay, so you'll understand. If you don't understand, you will understand what I'm doing. So I will write the code. So I will simply go for some basic things. So I will define two variables, int x and int y. So you can think x is let's say int a and b. So you will understand, right? That means input 1 and input 2. So let's say not a x and y is fine, right? Int x and int y. Okay, and probably we can assign them some values. Let's say x is 10, okay, and y is 20. Right, just some values. And we are not going to do anything inside. We are going to do something in that void setup, that let's say serial dot begin. Okay, just to understand how if condition, how what is that, the or gate or operator works. Okay, so now I'm going to write an if condition, okay, with the two inputs. Okay, so the first input is I'm going to check whether x is 10 or not. Okay, so we will check whether x is 10 or not. So you remember, in if condition, if we are checking a value is equal to something, we go for two equals, right? I told you in the previous sessions. If you don't know, you have to go and watch them, right? So this is what we call as comparative operator, I think, if I am correct. Okay, so to compare variables, you have to do like this. If this is assigning operator, so there we have to use 1 equals. When you compare, we have to use 2 equals. That means we are using it as a comparing whether x is equal to 10 or not. Then you remember, in the AND operator we passed this kind of symbol, right? AND symbol. So like that, for OR operator we have to pass another symbol. I will put it down. So this is the symbol, right? This is the OR symbol. So that means the one side of the OR symbol is one condition, and the other side of the OR symbol is another condition. Also you can think this x is equal to 1, the checking if x is equal to 1 or 10 or not is input 1. So okay, it can either be true or false. Okay, so I will write the next input, that means input 2, whether y is equal to 20 or not. Okay, so this is input 2. That means if it can be either true or false, right? So in our scenario it is true, but normally it can be either true or false. So this is input 2. So now you may see, according to our truth table, input 1 and input 2 we have said both of them can be either true or false, but in our scenario both of them are true because x is 10 and y is 20, right? We have assigned it in the line number 1 and 2. So both of them are true. But now you can see the truth table and you can change the values and see which condition is happening. So here I will write the whatever the particular area for the if condition, and you can write that whatever the output you want to give. So what you can do is wait, why am I not able to get the cursor here? Let me do like this. Still not. Okay, that's fine, it works. So this is the output area, let's say. Okay, if this if condition is true by any means, we get into the output area. That means output is true. If this if condition, that whatever the input or whatever happens, when the output becomes false, then we don't get into this output area, we get out of this. Maybe if you have an else condition, we can do it, otherwise we can skip it and come out. Okay, so maybe you write a serial communication value, so not a printing value. So where you say true output, let's say just true. Okay, so that means output true means whatever it gets into the if condition, the program, that if condition area, that command area, whatever we can say, that action or command area, and we implement whatever we wrote within the if condition. Okay, so that means output is true. You get the point? That means if output is false, according to us, the output is false, that means this whole of if condition, that is output true. If the whole of if condition become true, that means output is true. If the whole of the if condition become false, that means output is false. So only if the whole of the if condition become true, then we can get into this area, serial print area. Otherwise we will skip that and we will come to the next line number 15. It is obvious, you know these things, right? So according to what we have, our operator is something like if or operator, right? So if one input is true, then the output should be true. So output means the whole if condition. You can think like that. Okay, output means you don't need to think that output is serial print true or the open and curly brackets, close curly brackets. You can think output is the whole if condition, the condition of the whole if. That means whatever I have highlighted, whether the whole is true or false. Okay, so if you know the AND operator in the previous video, you understand this obviously. So x is 10, y is also 10, so both are true, right? So this part is true. So whatever we have here in the left side of the or condition is true, and also what we have in the right side of the or condition is also true. So both are true. So according to our logic, if both inputs are true, that means the third condition, that means line number 26, true, the output is also true. That means what? If this if condition, if input and if the other input both, that means first input is if x is 10 or not, that is true, x is 10, and the second checking is input is y is 20 or not, that is also true. So both are true. So then obviously the whole output means the whole if condition, that means together what we have within these two brackets is true. Understand? Then what will happen when, as you know, when true comes within the if condition as a whole, then the serial println and true will be printed. Whatever you wrote within the if condition will be printed obviously. Okay, you know that thing. So I will delete, and there is no undo button, so I have to manually type it. Okay, you can run the code and you can see the serial println and true is being printed in the serial monitor. Okay, so now you can change one value. We will change the y value 25. So that means we will check whether y is equal to 25 or not. Whether y is equal to 25, we are checking. So that is a false condition because y is 20. But x is true, x is 10 is true. So this side, the left side of the or condition is now true, and right side of the or condition is now false. You understand that? That means input 1 is true, input 2 is false. So we will go and see the truth table. Input 1 is true, input 2 is false. That means line number 24, output is still true. So output means what? The whole, right? So the whole is true, then serial println and true will be printed. So you can do it the other way around also. So you make this input 2, y is equal to 20 is true, and you can change this x value like 15. So that is false, right? False, right? Because x is 10. So now the left side of the OR condition is false, and right side of the OR condition is true. So still you can go and look at the truth table and you see in the line number 25 the output is still true. So still the whole if condition is true and the serial println true will be printed because the if program will get into the if condition if condition area. Okay, the two curly braces. So that is true. So you can write each and everything. So only when it becomes false is if both are false. So I will make both false. So now both are false, right? X is 10, y is 20, but we are checking here whether x is 15 and y is whether 25 or not. So both are false. So as both are false, the total if condition now will become false. Okay. So then obviously whatever you wrote within this if condition area, okay, will not be implemented. That means we will skip it. Okay. Output is false, no? Yes or no? Yes. Why is this taking my soul? Okay. So this will not be implemented because output is false. So we will come out. So you will see nothing is printed in the serial monitor. Okay. So like that you can change the values and see whether the whatever the OR condition I said is true or not. The truth table is true or not. Okay. So then you will find the truth table I wrote here is correct. Okay. You will not get any other chances. No, I mean outputs. So it will work as expected. So input 1 is x, input 2 is y, output is the total of the if condition. That means also you can see output is, if output is true, that means we get into the if condition area, otherwise we skip that if condition and get to the next line. Also you can say if output is true, we will print the true in the serial monitor, otherwise we will not print anything. Okay. So if you want, you can have an else condition and you can write false. That means when the output become false, it will immediately, that means output means the whole if condition become false, it will get into the else part. You know that thing, right? And it will print it. So we can print false. So if you followed up my previous tutorials, you know that. Otherwise you have to go and watch those videos. So try these scenarios and let me know what if you are getting the real outputs as I said here. So thanks guys. I will catch you up in the next video. Consider subscribing us and thanks a lot.